Baking. In a world that rushes, that demands instant gratification and constant motion, there's a quiet rebellion happening in our kitchens. It's a rebellion of flour, yeast, and patience. It's the gentle art of baking, and it carries within its simple ingredients a profound lesson, the beauty of slowing down. We live our lives at a breakneck pace, scrolling through feeds, multitasking through meetings, and seeking the quickest route from A to B. But when you step into the world of baking, time itself seems to change its rhythm. You cannot rush a loaf of bread. You cannot hurry a delicate pastry. The process commands your full attention, your gentle hands, and your patient heart. It's a deliberate act of creation that pulls you out of the frantic digital stream and grounds you in the tangible, sensory present. The first step in any baking endeavor is a lesson in itself. It is the act of measuring. This isn't a task to be done carelessly. It requires precision and focus. A little too much flour can make a cake dry. A little too little can make it collapse. You must level the cup, sift the powder, and watch the scale with a focused eye. In this simple, methodical action, you are already beginning to disconnect from the chaos outside. Your world narrows to the ingredients before you. The fine, white powder of flour, the crystalline sparkle of sugar, the rich, dark mystery of cocoa. Each one has a role to play, a specific weight and volume that will contribute to the final harmony. This is not about approximation or estimation. It is about exactness. It's a quiet meditation where your mind, often scattered across a dozen different worries and tasks, is brought to a single point of focus. The gentle scrape of the knife across the top of a measuring cup becomes a small, satisfying sound in a quiet kitchen. You are not just measuring ingredients. You are measuring your own attention, your own ability to be present in a small, significant moment. Then comes the mixing, the combining of these carefully measured elements. This is where the magic truly begins to stir. Whether you're creaming butter and sugar together until they are light and fluffy, or gently folding egg whites into a delicate batter, your hands become the primary tools. You feel the textures change. The grainy sugar dissolves into the soft butter. The dry flour gradually absorbs the wet ingredients, transforming from a dusty powder into a cohesive dough. This tactile connection is something we are increasingly losing in our screen-dominated lives. Baking returns it to us. It reminds us of the joy of physical creation, of feeling the world through our fingertips. The process cannot be rushed. If you beat the batter too aggressively, you can overdevelop the gluten and create a tough, rubbery texture. If you don't mix it enough, you're left with pockets of unincorporated flour. Baking teaches you to listen with your hands, to feel for the right consistency, to observe the subtle shifts in the mixture. It's a dialogue between you and the ingredients, a slow and unfolding conversation. Perhaps the most profound lesson in patience comes with the process of proofing. This is especially true when working with yeast, the living organism that gives bread its airy, magnificent structure. After kneading the dough, shaping it with care and intention, you must then do the hardest thing of all. You must wait. You cover the dough and set it aside in a warm place, and you let time and nature do their work. There is no shortcut. No amount of prodding, wishing, or checking will make the yeast work faster. In fact, impatience is the enemy. This period of waiting, which can last for an hour or even overnight, is a forced pause. It's an invitation to step away, to trust the process. In our culture of instant results, this can feel deeply counterintuitive. We want to see progress, to check things off a list. But baking teaches a different kind of productivity, the productivity of patience. During this quiet interval, you can read a book, listen to music, or simply sit with a cup of tea, aware of the silent, invisible transformation happening on your countertop. The dough is slowly, miraculously rising, filling with air, developing flavor and character. It's a powerful metaphor for so many aspects of life. The projects that need time to mature, the relationships that need space to grow, the personal growth that happens not in frantic bursts but in quiet, steady increments. The heat of the oven is the final, transformative stage. It is a moment of surrender. You have measured, mixed, kneaded, and waited. Now, you must relinquish control. You place your creation into the intense, enclosed heat, and trust that all your careful preparation will come to fruition. The aroma that begins to fill the kitchen is your first reward. It's a scent that is both comforting and exhilarating. The warm, toasty smell of baking bread, the sweet, caramelizing notes of a cake, the rich, buttery fragrance of cookies. This scent is a sensory anchor, pulling you firmly into the present moment. It's a smell of home, of care, of something good being made. Watching through the small glass window of the oven door is its own form of quiet contemplation. You see the pale dough begin to color, turning a beautiful golden brown. You see the cake rise, the cookies spread, the pastry puff up in delicate layers. It's a slow-motion spectacle of chemistry and physics, a visual testament to the power of heat and time. And when the timer finally chimes, and you pull your creation from the oven, there's one last test of patience. The baked good is not yet ready. It is blisteringly hot, and its internal structure is still setting. You must wait for it to cool. To slice into a loaf of bread too soon is to release all the steam that keeps it moist, resulting in a gummy, dense crumb. To frost a cake while it's still warm is to create a melted, sticky mess. This final period of waiting can be the most challenging of all. The delicious aroma is at its peak, and the visual appeal is undeniable. Yet, you must resist. This final pause is the culmination of the entire lesson. It reinforces the idea that good things are not just worth waiting for, they often require it. It's a discipline of delayed gratification, a final, quiet act of respect for the process you have just undertaken. This practice of slowing down, cultivated in the kitchen, inevitably spills over into other areas of life. When you learn to be patient with the rising dough, you might find you are more patient in a traffic jam. When you learn to focus on the precise measurement of flour, you might find you can bring a greater level of focus to a difficult task at work. When you appreciate the slow transformation in the oven, you might learn to better appreciate the slow, gradual progress in your own personal goals. Baking is more than just following a recipe. It's a form of mindfulness. It teaches you to observe, to be present, to use all your senses. It's a reminder that not everything can be optimized for speed. Some of life's most rewarding experiences, like the taste of a truly perfect, homemade piece of bread, are the direct result of taking your time. They are born from the moments we choose to slow down, to breathe, and to engage fully with the world in front of us. It is a tangible, delicious reward for embracing a slower, more deliberate way of being. In the gentle rhythm of baking, we don't just create food. We rediscover a more peaceful, centered version of ourselves. Baking,